reviewing appropriate safety measures. And I did speak with Dejan Taylor's mom a little bit earlier today, and she hopes that they get metal detectors at the school as well, but she thinks that it's a lot bigger than this. She said to me that these boys need to put their pride to the side and just walk away. Live in Kennedy Park in Kenosha, Sean Gallagher, today's TMJ4.
All right, Sean, thanks. Well, life without parole, that is the sentence handed down to a man who killed a woman and little girl, then set their house on fire.
Ben Jordan is live in the newsroom to explain what happened as Fowler found out his fate.
Charles and Jenna, despite Patrick Fowler's wishes, a judge ordered that he appear in court for his sentencing. How he entered surprised everyone in the room. Patrick Fowler enters the courtroom in peculiar fashion, hair covering his face with pointed parts looking like the devil, the exact name the parents of the victims now call him.
I'm living the worst nightmare that any parent or grandparent can imagine.
Back on March 19th of last year, Fowler brutally stabbed Jessica Ellenberger and her daughter Madison Marshall to death after an argument. He then set the house on fire and fled the state.
She helped me with gardening. We went for bike rides.
The victim's father and grandfather paints a picture of how happy their lives were before this tragedy.
Along the Little Menominee River Parkway, we threw pennies off the footbridge into the river and made wishes.
While his wife minces no words.
Those, among countless other horrors, are what fill my mind now and cut through my heart, just like the knives that sliced through my babies.
After all the heartbreak and misery this family has dealt with, Fowler gives no apology.
I maintained my innocence. I cared about them too.
The judge takes a state suggestion of back-to-back life sentences.
Because of the enormously horrific nature of this crime, the only sentence that is appropriate in this case is that you will serve life in the Wisconsin State Prison without the possibility of parole.
A decision the victim's family says they've been hoping and praying for.
It does give us the beginning now where we can start to heal. We can start to move forward.
And Fowler has already told the judge that he plans to appeal the convictions. Live in the newsroom, Ben Jordan, today's TMJ4.
All right. Thank you, Ben. We want to talk to you about some breaking news right now. Walworth County deputy and Elkhorn police officer will not face criminal charges in the shooting death of Chris Crystal. Investigators say Crystal was shot and killed. This is back in February after displaying a gun during a reckless driving complaint. The Department of Justice determined the shooting was justified.
An email threat shut down the Beaver Dam School District.
The email with claims to hurt students today was sent to an assistant principal at the high school. Guns and explosives were also mentioned in the email. Now, 2 students have been questioned, and police are looking for a 3rd student who is from out of state. It's still unclear if classes will resume on Monday. All right, going to switch gears, talk about the weather. A nice spring-like day around here, but we could be dodging showers in the near future.
Yes, Brian Goddard here to tell us when rain could reach your neighborhood.
It's hard to believe with that beautiful shot behind you. Not a cloud in the sky right now, but that's going to change quickly over the next couple of hours. Already starting to see some rain move into Green Bay and up to the Northwoods. It's moving pretty quickly from north to south. Not widespread, but it is definitely going to be raining here sometime after 9 or 10 o'clock this evening and then during the overnight hours. Temperatures, though they're cool at the lakefront thanks to that northeasterly breeze. It was pretty gusty today. It's been in the upper 40s there, 57 in Waukesha and low to mid 60s inland. Now the wind has started to die down between 5 and 15 after seeing some gusts close to 30. So for your evening plans, I want to grab an umbrella if you're going to be out late. Sometime after 10 o'clock, you're going to be seeing those rain showers, but should be out of here before sunrise tomorrow morning. The all-important weekend forecast just a few minutes away.
All right, Brian, thanks.
A heated exchange over health care between Governor Walker and Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson.
Yeah, check this out. The governor was in Appleton to promote state tourism. As he shook the hands with Nelson, the county executive, brought up the health care bill, saying 300,000 people in northeast Wisconsin could lose insurance if the Republican plan becomes law.
If you want to play politics, you should run for office. You want to run for governor? Run for governor. If you want to run for Congress, you had your chance.
I cannot tell you how many people have come up to me.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those where you see why he had his chance to run for Congress. People saw one who decided to politically grandstand instead of addressing the issues of the day. I will address this issue as it makes its way to the United States Senate and before it gets to the President of the United States. I made that very clear.
Very disrespectful to people in Northeast Wisconsin.
The bill has passed the House. That happened yesterday and now moves to the Senate. Changes to the bill are expected to be made before it comes up for a vote. A Milwaukee firefighter charged with distributing child porn now says he's guilty.
Robert Rutley changed his plea in federal court. The FBI served a search warrant on the firehouse where he worked back in October, or should I say February. Rutley ran from authorities after the raid and then was tracked down in Montana. He faces up to 20 years in prison. A Milwaukee firefighter captain was bound for trial on unrelated charges this morning. Leon Butts is accused of assaulting his girlfriend. He pled not guilty to the charges of suffocation, strangulation, and stalking. Police are looking for a man who robbed a Milwaukee business.
You can see the suspect broke in through a back window and disconnected the surveillance camera. Police say he got away with an air compressor and a TV. If you have any information about this, please call police.
We got our first look at the newest member of the Green Bay Packers today, but it didn't come without some unwanted drama.
Rod Burke's in Green Bay with the latest on an injury to one of the most highly anticipated rookies.
The much-anticipated debut of linebacker Vince Beagle was short-lived today at Packers rookie orientation camp. He left practice early today because of a hand injury.
Disappointed, obviously, that I didn't get to finish my first practice as a Green Bay Packer. Obviously, I was really looking forward to this moment, but you know, listen, this is going to be a bumpy road. There's ups and downs in this journey, and I got a tremendous amount of support here. I got great coaches. I got great support staff, great medical staff here. So the hand injury was not a concern, but I'm staying positive and be looking forward to tomorrow. You know, I think it kind of started yesterday. Kind of one of my locker rooms right next to Clay Matthews. It was really a dream come true, if you will. Right next to Nick Perry as well, and just so many greats in this locker room. I'm excited to kind of start practice OTAs and finish up, obviously, rookie minicamp here and learn from greats like Clay and also on the offensive side of the ball like Rodgers and so forth. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity here.
Luckily for the Packers, Beagle's hand injury wasn't serious because they need him to add some pop and sizzle to their defense this season. In Green Bay, with the rookies, I'm Rod Burks for today's TMJ4.
Some pop and sizzle, that's what we need. Still ahead on Live at 6, authorities called to an unusual accident on a river that left 3 people hurt.
Also next, police in one local community stepping up efforts to keep drunk drivers off the roads this weekend.
You're watching today's TMJ4 with Charles Benson, Shannon Sims, Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jesse Ritka, and Lance Allen, Sports.
3 people hurt after being thrown from an airboat crash in Dodge County.
Police say that the boat crashed into a tree on a flooded portion of the Beaver Dam River. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office believes that speed and low visibility were factors in that crash. Sheboygan police are stepping up patrols this weekend. Officers will be on the lookout for drunk drivers. The point of the OWI traffic enforcement, of course, is always to educate drivers on the importance of driving sober and wearing their seat belts. Milwaukee's Project Clean and Green will begin picking up in Zone 4 on Monday. If you live in Zone 4, you can put bulk items like mattresses, unwanted furniture right there on the curb, and crews will pick it up for free. Usually that's a $50 to $150 charge. However, appliances won't be accepted. To find your zone, head to tmj4.com/links. If you'd like to give back to your community, the Sheboygan Police Department is hosting a cleanup at Franklin Park. The cleanup starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and volunteers are needed. All you have to do is show up and get ready to help.
Well, Brian Goddard has your Storm Team forecast for the first weekend of May. That's just ahead.
And how politicians responded to reports of the overprescription of opiate drugs at the Toma VA, the focus on tonight's PolitiFact report. News over the overprescription of painkillers at the Toma VA raised concerns about how politicians responded to the problem.
PolitiFact Wisconsin looks at an attack ad against Senator Tammy Baldwin as she likely faces re-election next year. The radio ad by the Political Action Committee, America's, is critical of Senator Baldwin's response to the opioid scandal at the Toma VA.
What the Political Action Committee says is that Baldwin was told by a whistleblower about over-medicated veterans, that she made deadly mistakes, and that 3 veterans died at the Toma VA hospital.
That's a lot to unpack. PolitiFact Wisconsin looked at the deaths and found the attack ad does not add up. For example,
what we found, though, is that among the 3 veterans, one One death had nothing to do with opioid painkillers.
A second overdose death was years after a veteran stopped treatment at Toma. The third death was before the whistleblower's alert. PolitiFact Wisconsin reports Baldwin's office acknowledges mistakes in handling an inspection report about over-medication problems at Toma and the whistleblower's email. But that's different than making deadly mistakes.
The ad suggests that Baldwin knew about the opioid problems at the Toma VA, made deadly mistakes, and as a result, 3 veterans died. But in fact, the ad is wrong.
PolitiFact Wisconsin rated this claim false.
And PolitiFact Wisconsin reports the radio ad was done by Buy America's PAC, and that is largely funded by a mega Republican donor, Richard Uihlein, who owns a Wisconsin business.